Welcome back to the Pink Popcorn Podcast. I am Kim,
And I'm Amy.
and this week we are talking about Gilmore Girls still. We're in season one, and we're talking about episodes 5, 6, and 7. That includes Cinnamon's Wake, Rory's birthday, and Kiss and Tell. So they're all good episodes. We're really excited to talk about them. So yeah, we'll start with Cinnamon's Wake. It's real fun.
Yes,
So
episode 5.
yes. So this one we start with a Friday night dinner scene with Emily talking about going to a funeral and assuming that Lorelai is going to go because it's her, what is it? Her grandmother.
It's your father's grandmother's sister's girl.
Honestly, I think the closest relatives that I have, not closest, the furthest out relatives I've met are
Mhm.
second cousins, right? Like,
Yeah,
no
they got
one
a big
past that,
family reunion.
which would be
Cousins.
mom's
Cousins,
cousins,
kids, or mom's
kids.
cousins. Yeah.
I guess mom's cousins are okay. I don't know why I randomly went off on that, but um,
Okay,
so
about this scene. Well, one, I do like I love just when it opens with Friday night dinner scenes or any Friday night dinner scenes in the middle of an episode. It's just fun, like
yes.
showing that this is an ongoing thing every
Hmm.
week, and it's just fun to be in those.
Yeah.
This one is one of the ones where Richard is traveling, and
Hmm.
that happens a lot. And for some reason, and that's fun to see all three
Yeah.
of them, just the
It
girls.
is fun with the
And
girls. Yeah.
it's a different dynamic. And then
Mhm.
I was gonna say too about Lorelai with her response. Sorry, also my glasses have a glare. Just ignore that.
Glasses.
But Lorelai's response to Emily assuming that she's gonna go to the funeral with them or with her.
Hmm.
Lorelai doesn't even apologize. Like, I just admire her, kind of. Maybe it's a
Hmm.
little selfish sometimes, but I admire her ability to set boundaries,
Hmm.
which we kind of talked about this before, but
Yeah, that we struggle with this,
yes, and
but
if it were
we're
me,
getting
I would
better.
have just been like, okay, and then been resentful about having
Like
to take off work
try,
and
yeah,
go.
and trying to figure
So
out and
she
get them
just
all
right away,
stressed.
yes, or being
Yeah.
indecisive about it and not deciding
Mhm.
until the night before. But Lorelai just
Yeah.
kind of right away, no,
Now,
I'm not going.
yeah,
I mean, she
and it's
doesn't seem
good.
quite like,
So, so yeah, so Lorelai then just yeah makes it clear she's not gonna go. Emily's annoyed, but it's good. She sets the boundary. So
yes, she
then,
needs to.
yeah. So then we see Cinnamon. We kind of meet Cinnamon early on in the episode. We meet Cinnamon,
We need Cinnamon.
the
Yes, because they're
cat.
walking in she has a little cradle taking her
Yes,
for a
or a
walk.
yeah, little wagon
Fasten it.
carriage
Yeah.
bassinet thing. Yeah, I
Hmm.
guess not a carriage, um, but yeah, and
Mm.
so and they talk
Sorry.
about Al's Pancake World.
Oh yeah, they ate the clams.
So they ate clams at Al's, and
Oh my gosh.
Cinnamon is not feeling it, but he has her little private space in the wagon in the I don't know what you call it. And yeah, you get to know Babette and Maury a little bit more into like you see a little more into their life. And this is where
Yeah.
uh Rory's like it says something about how the people in their town are so weird or something and Eli's like, isn't it? I can't remember what she says. She just is she loves it. Right. Think
Yeah, she loves
yeah,
it.
yeah. She's good about it. Or
And we see that with Lorelai and Rory throughout the
yeah.
seasons, that they're so good at being friends with the weirdos and
Yes.
having
And
compassion and just
yeah, because even
listening
if
to them.
there are times where they get slightly annoyed, even like at Kirk or whatever, and they kind of make fun of him in a little bit, but they still love them and they're kind. Yeah. and they appreciate them, the weirdness.
Yes.
And
And
so,
I'm kind of skipping ahead, but like when Lorelai lets Babette talk about Cinnamon and
yeah. And
she,
it's a
even though
genuine thing.
yes, she cares. And even though to
Hmm.
her it's like, oh, it's just a cat, she knows it's important to Babette and it's like a
Yeah.
child to her. And so
Yeah.
they give them that attention and time. And okay, I need to rant about people for a little bit, just for a second.
Yes.
That I wish more people were like this just in life. I
Hmm.
don't know how to say it. I feel like people, not everybody, but a lot of people, adults are similar to high schoolers. Like we don't
Hmm.
grow out of this where we want things to kind of be like the societal norms to just be, people get uncomfortable when there's
Hmm.
odd characters around. Like,
Yes.
for
Yeah.
example, and this has happened, just sitting in the doctor's office, and there's some kind of dirty person that's messy and seems
Hmm.
chaotic and like super chatty to be like, some of those
Yeah.
odd people that just talk to everybody. And
Yeah.
I was sitting in a doctor's office and this lady was just overly, just oversharing and awkward. And most people in the waiting room like would look away and like not
Yeah.
respond to her.
They're very
And
uncomfortable.
so
Yeah.
I remember just being like, oh, she's weird, who cares? And just kind of responding. And she was friendly and nice, even though she was
Hmm.
weird. But it, like, what does it hurt to
Right.
just be kind to someone like that and not, and
Yeah.
instead of being like, oh, that's awkward and looking away? Like, you're not
Yeah.
14, you're an adult. You don't have to. And I've,
Pretend you're the normal one sitting
yes,
and you're like, I am too cool for this.
yes, it happens multiple times. I just noticed where people don't like anything outside of what is expected. Like when you're at the grocery store,
Right.
you do your shopping, you don't talk to strangers that much. You just kind of leave people alone. You
Yes.
get what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm like, let's be nice to the odd people. But
Yes.
sometimes
Be
I
nice to
think,
the odd people because a lot of times it's just short interactions that you have with them. And you're
yes.
right. Like, what does it hurt to just be kind
Although I
instead of
guess,
treating them like they're, I
yeah,
don't know, they
are
have,
beneath you or they
yeah,
have
yeah.
leprosy.
Because that's what it kind of feels like. It feels like if you're looking away or trying to, you're embarrassed by them. Why are you embarrassed by someone that you don't know? Like,
Yes.
we do get secondhand embarrassment, like
Oh my
people do in
gosh, yeah.
general, but it's, yeah. I mean, we've all done weird things. We've all said weird things. That's fine.
Mhm. That's so
All
true.
overshared a bit. Just kidding.
So true.
But yeah, it's
Okay,
true.
my rant is over. That
Okay.
just it made me think of that. I love and we everyone loves Gilmore Girls and everyone loves Lorelai. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't you
Let's all
want to
be a
be
little more like Lorelai in
be
this
like
way.
Lorelai? Yeah. And
Yeah.
just accept people and instead of trying to keep up with the Joneses and all that. Anyway, okay,
Right.
rant
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. Good. I don't know. I said good as if I'm finally. Just kidding.
That's okay.
Anyway,
Oh,
so
so another part in the beginning
mhm.
of kind of the beginning of the episode, um, we see more of Michelle in this episode a little bit
Mhm.
because he has to help the French group.
Yeah. And it's
And
funny. He
yeah,
tries to
shows.
pretend he doesn't speak French.
Yeah. And then he actually gives us a little more insight. Remember, we talked about how did Michelle end up in Stars Hollow? And he
Yes, he
says
did say,
something, even though he's kind of joking, but he says something like, that's why I left France because French people are insufferable. He says something
yeah.
like that. And
Or
so
yeah.
maybe, is that what it
Yeah.
was?
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. And
So
so
maybe
that's
that,
kind of why he left France. Yeah.
yeah. And
So
maybe it goes along with our sort of theory of he just wanted to be in a small, nice town,
yeah.
maybe to
Yeah.
offset his grumpiness.
Yes. Maybe he has a sweetheart. We see do when he has the chows. to dogs. He does have a
Yes,
heart and he,
he does. He's
yeah,
capable of loving.
he's capable of loving. Yeah. But
And being
yeah, so
sweet, I
we
mean, more than
see,
loving.
yeah, yeah. Oh, so next, okay. So
Dean,
next, oh yeah, Dean will on the bus.
yeah. Dean comes walking by and sees Rory waiting for her bus because he's walking
hmm
to school. This scene is, oh, okay, it's the music. It's one of the La La songs that's playing as he's walking.
hmm
Oh, it just tugs at your heartstrings. They did such a good job in this show with all the music, especially all the
Yeah.
La Las.
La
And
la.
la la
Yeah.
la. And it just kind of makes you smile. And then
Yeah.
it brings all the nostalgic feelings of being 16 and a boy likes you and you like him. It's just so fun.
Yes. And he is bold. He has
Yeah.
confidence because this is something that I think as a teenager, even like an adult too, it's like y you overthink in the beginning stages when you like he doesn't even know if she likes him back and he's like, I'm
Yes.
gonna jump on
He's
this
not really
bus.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's
And
cute.
and it's cute.
And
It's one of
I
those things that you're like,
appreciate
I
that.
wish guys were more
More
that
like
way,
that.
like when we and so
Yeah, we appreciate a bold
yes.
guy. And it kind of fits because later in Kiss and Tell, Lane ends up telling us that that Dean had a girlfriend before when he lived in, was it
hmm
Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago. Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense. He has more confidence because he's dated a girl, well, probably multiple,
That's
but he had
true.
like a
I feel
long-term
like
girlfriend.
if you've if you've if you have experience with dating, it does give you a little more confidence with pursuing relationships. I think
Yeah,
because I feel like when I first was like, I mean, I had a lot of confidence before I dated, and then
you
slowly,
did.
but I like felt like with dating at the beginning, before I had much experience, I was so nervous about other things and
Because you
like
didn't know
just
what to do
yeah,
and
I
what
didn't
you
know
were
what to do.
supposed to say, and you wanted to say it
And that's something
right.
that I love about like these two episodes where Dean is kind of showing that he likes Rory and Rory doesn't know what to do with it because she likes him but she's like I don't
Yes.
know how to talk to him and that feels very realistic for that age if you haven't
Yeah.
dated much. And so
Yes.
yeah, I like that a
It's
lot.
cute.
But yeah, so he gets on the bus and he sits behind her and it's cute. He talks to her a few minutes and then gets off and it's just a cute interaction and fun and something
So
that
cute.
she was flustered by, but I'm sure she liked it. Maybe, I
She's
don't know.
really Alexis Bledel does a good job all through season one of showing that innocence and sh seeming
Mhm.
like a 16-year-old or 15. She's
Yes.
almost 16.
And she's
But
shy. Like, yeah, she does a good job with that, like just showing her shyness and not really knowing how to say the right thing or whatever.
mhm.
Sometimes, yeah, she does a good job.
And I think Alexis Bledel was around like 18 years old when
And I think
she
this was her first
started.
acting job.
Okay. I think so too,
Like,
from what I remember.
yeah.
And so it kind of fits with the role because she
Yeah.
seems younger and newer
Yes, yeah.
as her character does.
hmm
Okay.
And so then we have the bake sale.
Yes.
Right. So the bake sale at Chilton. Um, and this is a good scene because we get to see Max again, and he is sweet. He is also bold, persistent. These
He
bold
is.
guys
Yeah.
gave us
You have to
false
be.
sense of whatever how guys are. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
like it made us like have high expectations for boys
Yeah.
that didn't usually
Yeah. I think in high school
happen.
I was always one to more the instigator or like
Initi
with date initiator
Yes, like
initiate
you
I
initiated.
initiated it
Yeah,
more
I know. I think I
and
was too.
yeah but
But somebody has to. You at least, even
yeah
if you don't want to ask someone out, you at least kind of have to let it be known that you're interested or that you like the person.
yes
And then that gives them the confidence to maybe pursue
yes
something or at
yes
least reach out.
yeah Yeah.
But
And so,
with Lorelai and Max, I noticed this. Okay, first she's a little prickly, and they talk about that, and
mhm.
and then she's like, "Okay, I'm not, there's no more ice." Well, then he asks her out, and did you notice this? She's kind of just so blasé, like, "Uh-huh. Are you asking me out on a date?" She's not surprised or something. Like, do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
It's just kind of like
guess.
she expected him to
Well,
ask
I
her
mean,
out.
he has been flirty with her.
He has, and there's such a vibe between them that
Yeah.
they
It's
both
so
have that
much. So
chemistry.
this, it like kind of makes me think of, in the first day at Chilton episode where that dad asks her out. You see the
Hmm.
difference where with Max, he seems a little closer to her age, even if he is a few years older, like even like five,
Yeah.
6, 7 years older, like he seems more her level, and
Yes.
he's smart and intelligent. Something I think that makes us love Max is that he is in the Chilton world. Like he's in that world, but he is more, I guess, like blue collar, or
Yes.
he's
He's
not really
also
of that world, I guess.
right. He's like attainable for Lorelai. And the
Yes.
fact that he is a Chilton teacher and not some
Yeah.
businessman traveling the world, I think that
It
she kind of
makes
feels
it,
more comfortable with him.
yes. And
That's
she
true.
likes that. She's more attracted to that too, because even though he's in the world and he's familiar with it, he's not a part of it. And
Yeah.
so it makes it okay.
Yeah. I think they just have they have a connection and
Hmm.
chemistry, and it's so obvious. So it makes
Yes.
sense. It does fit that she wouldn't be surprised that he asks her out.
Yes. But yeah, I will say this episode, when they talk, it is, yeah, kind of that way where it almost feels just, yeah, they like each other and it's very obvious and they're open about it with each other, pretty much.
Yes.
Like, which I guess feels adult. Like,
That's true. And I actually, now that you say that, it's cute that it shows the difference of like your first with Rory,
yeah,
first time dating and the awkwardness, and
and
then
her
the
confidence. Yeah.
adults dating or the adults
Yeah.
asking each other out and how it's different.
Yeah.
And you have, that's cute.
Hmm. Yeah. So he asks her out, and she's hesitant because of Rory still. Like, that
Hmm.
is a thing that she thinks about. But then she tells him she goes to this coffee place after her class. She can't stop anybody from going in at this exact time. And so, yeah, so then they meet up for coffee, or well, yeah, they meet up for coffee and they talk, and he
Yes.
shares the story, and he like touches her arm when he's telling the
He's
story.
cute.
He is cute.
He
He
is
is good.
charming.
He's charming, yeah. And
And
he
then
talks,
she awkwardly asks if he likes rap
oh
music.
yeah.
Like, why? Does she
She's
like
like,
rap
"Do you like
music?
this? Do you like that?" Yeah. I think, yeah, we talked about maybe she's just trying to see how he'll respond to things, because I don't
Hmm.
think Lorelai likes rap music, right? Like, she
I don't
has never
think,
talked
unless,
about it.
right, but
I don't know.
maybe. I just
Yeah,
thought it was funny and random.
yeah,
Um,
it's funny. But yeah, so then he tells the story about his uncle, because she's still kind of like iffy about it, and tells the story about his uncle that may or may not be true. How there was a woman that he felt, or he thought she was like the one, but he didn't feel like, well, yeah, he got drafted and then he came back and she was gone, and he never took the chance to actually ask her out. Lost the
yeah, so
chance. You have
he's
to take
just sort of,
chances.
yeah, and he's kind
Mhm.
of wearing her down, getting her to
Yeah.
agree
Yes.
to go out
And
with
so she
him.
agrees, and she's excited. Like, you can tell she's excited, but yeah, nervous
Hmm.
about it because she hasn't told Rory. So
Yes,
then we go to Cinnamon's wake, which is like the main part of this episode. And
yes.
I like, yeah, we like,
I
I mean,
like
who
this,
doesn't like this? Yeah, I feel like this
the
is
whole
such
scene.
um, a good depiction
A
of
good,
a
yeah.
small town. Maybe a little bit exaggerated because it is a cat, but
Yeah.
but I could see, honestly, if there was like a couple who had this cat and the people in the town knew the cat, and had known the cat for a long time, I
Yeah.
can see the town coming together,
And they love
especially
the
because they
couple.
love the couple and the couple loves this cat. And so it's, yeah. And so
Yeah.
you do want to be there. But yes, small towns, I feel like there's such a community there. Like when
Hmm.
people die, it's just everybody just wants to help. And they, even if they
They
don't
all show up.
necessarily know you, they want to do
Yes.
something because they know of you and they know the story. Like, and so it's just,
Yes.
yeah. And so,
I know. It's really sweet to see everyone, like just the neighbors coming around and stuff.
mm,
Um, like after we've had funerals in our family, there was a neighbor after our son passed away years ago that sent us a gift card. It was so cute. Like lots of people sent us things and came, of course. But there was this neighbor that sent us a gift card and we didn't really know them. They lived down the street or on the next street. And it was $20 to IGA, which is the grocery store here. But he said, "We just wanted to give you a little something and we love the fried chicken there and maybe you could go get some comfort
that's,
food there." It was
that
so
is so
sweet.
sweet.
Stuff like that. There
Yeah.
were lots of things like that that happened
Hmm.
and just made me think of that. I know, sorry to be all
Yeah.
serious, but that's how it is. It really is
It is. And people
in a
really
small
just
town.
do so much. And so, um, yeah, this feels that way where people are just there hanging out and being and
Yes,
just supporting.
especially it's good to I love seeing Luke and Suki with the food and fighting over where to put their food at the
Yeah.
table and
Yeah.
but then they work together by the end.
Yes, and it's good. Yeah, and you
Mhm.
have to have food. It's like, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
like everybody just drops everything and goes. And that's the other thing in small towns, it feels like, at least growing up, maybe now everywhere is not as much this way because our world just is different. People don't spend as much time together, I feel like. But it felt like when we were younger, people just spent time with each other and had time to hang out and just,
Yes. Why does it
you
feel like
know,
no one has any time now? Maybe it was
yeah.
like that back then, but and
Yeah.
we didn't realize
We
because we
didn't
were
realize.
kids.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, anyway, so yeah, you see this and like all their support and how immediate it is. Everybody is just there and starts
Yes.
helping and it's good. And
Which
there's
is
this which is
something
what?
that I'm skipping ahead a little, but like when Lorelai accidentally tells her mom, "Oh, we went to a cat's funeral," and her mom was mad. Emily's mad because she's like, "Ah, couldn't go to your cousin's funeral."
Yeah.
And but it's different because it's like their neighbor and friend, and like you said, it's dropping everything to go help. It just was different. Anyway.
Yes. Yes, you're there to support someone that you know so well, like,
Mhm.
and it's affecting their daily life. And anyway, so um yeah, there is a scene though in this episode that I like. It's, well, it's a quote really that I think is one of my favorites. It's from Michelle when he comes to
Yes.
Babette's house and he's looking for Lorelai and he's like, "Hello, I'm looking for Lorelai." And then he sees the guy in the overall and he's like, "Yoo-hoo, hee haw man." I don't know why.
I
It's so funny to me
didn't
because in his French
even notice that.
accent, "Yoo-hoo, hee haw
Yes.
man." And it's just funny. Like,
It's perfect.
I wish I could do the French accent, but I cannot.
No, it's cute.
Um,
No, I
but
love
yeah.
that.
And so you see people coming in and out, and Dean and Rory have an awkward moment where Rory's like, "Hey, you," or I don't know. She
Oh
just
yeah,
can't.
yeah. She's stumbling over her words.
Yeah. And so it's cute. And you see all these little, yeah, just little moments that are sweet with Lorelai talking with Babette,
Hmm.
washing the dishes. It's just such a sweet,
I love that
um,
scene for some reason, and I love Lorelai's outfit. I love the red turtleneck. I
yeah,
think she looks adorable,
yeah,
and how she sits and listens to Babette, and they have like really good talk. It's just sweet,
yeah.
um, and
It is
fun
sweet.
to see their friendship. Oh, and then like when she sees Max, did we already say
Yes,
that?
we haven't talked about that. So yeah, Max comes to her door and she sees him and
He
realizes she hasn't.
thinks she's blowing him off.
Yeah.
It's cute. She's like, no, don't read that much into this. I want to go out with you. And so he's
Yes, and
still
it's cute.
like on the hook for her. And
Hmm.
he leaves. So,
Yes.
and she has
And
to
then we,
explain it all to Rory. It's
yeah,
always, if you don't tell someone right away, it's so much worse. Like Rory would
yeah,
not have cared that much. And she even says that. I'm not,
yeah. It's mostly just because she felt weird because she didn't know what was
she's like, my
happening.
teacher's at our
I mean,
house.
yeah, which I think she still would have felt a little weird about it, but she would have
Hmm.
expected it, so it's fine. I mean, she would have expected him there.
Yeah.
Um, and then we also see more with Dean and Rory where he tells her like, "Hey, I'm sorry I keep bothering you. I thought maybe you liked me, but it's obviously you don't." And she's like, "No, I do." And
Yeah.
it's sweet.
She,
It's sweet
it's
because then
sweet.
it's like
It's out
she,
there. She
yeah,
admits it. I like you.
yeah.
I'm interested.
And so even if nothing's
Which
happening
leads
right
up,
now.
yes.
Mhm.
So, but it's good because then it leads up to the next couple episodes and the things that happen.
Yeah.
So, should we get to the next one?
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
yes,
Yeah.
Rory's birthdays. We'll do episode
Yes. So
6.
her birthdays. This is a good episode. All three of these episodes are pretty good.
I
I
know.
mean, so many
It's
good
like they get
episodes, but
better and better. Oh, so good.
yeah. And so this
It
one,
starts out.
yeah, you can go ahead.
It starts out. Sorry. I'm taking over the
Good.
post-it conversation. So that's a
The
fun
creepy
Friday night dinner.
post-its. Yeah.
Put a post-it on it. Emily serves pudding for dessert. And that is a
Yes.
big deal to Lorelai. She
Hmm.
just, it sort of represents a lot. The pudding does,
Yes.
because it comes up
That
again.
she thought about what they would like for dessert, even though
Mhm.
she doesn't see pudding as good enough for dessert.
Yes. But
Um,
she sort of lowered her standard a little bit or let there be a different option because she thought of what they like you said. And it's a mix of emotions, I feel like, for Lorelai, because she's happy, but it's also like,
yes.
oh, well, you never did that for me growing up. Like you're doing it for Rory.
Yes, it's a little bit confusing for her.
Hmm.
New territory a little bit, maybe.
Yes. Another thing in the beginning of the episode, Jackson comes in and he makes this like berry slash kumquat
Oh,
combination.
yes. Yes.
Masquat.
It makes me want to try one.
I
If
know.
they exist. Even though I've
Yes.
never had a
Me too.
kumquat. I'm like,
I
I
don't
don't
think
even
I
know
have either.
what that tastes like. She said it's exotic, so maybe it's like a tropical flavor. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm imagining like a star fruit or something. Is that a thing?
Maybe it is a it is a thing. I'm like, it is a thing. I do know this.
I don't know. I'm not, yeah,
I've
I don't know about
had
the
one
kumquat.
once, maybe.
Um, then we have the Lorelai and Emily shopping scene.
Yes, which is so sweet and good, and it's like happy. And I feel like this would be a fun scene for them to film,
To
maybe,
film.
because they get
Hmm.
to have fun, and I don't know. They probably don't get to do that very often, or they didn't usually.
Yeah. And like they're
Where
not
they're
arguing.
But one thing in the scene that we've talked about is she is helping her pick out something for Rory, and she points out the like guitar case purse thing. And
Yes, I
like we've
cannot
talked about this.
imagine
Yeah,
Rory using that.
no, yeah,
Maybe for fun, like at home. I can imagine Lorelai using it, but not
right.
Rory.
Yes, yes. And it's funny too because I feel like is Lorelai pushing her style on Rory without realizing it? She's
I'm
like
sure she
so
is.
controlling, and then she is like doing it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could see, yeah, we could maybe see her decorating her room with it or something, like putting it in her room, but not going out and carrying that around.
Right. Right. It would be funny.
Yeah.
I
But
know
yes,
that's
and
funny. It
it's
always bugged me. I was like, what?
yeah,
That guitar purse? No.
right. Yeah. But yeah, and
But
it's cute
Emily's
seeing Emily
gift,
trying.
yeah, very sweet. And I actually loved her gift, the bracelets. Do you
Hmm.
remember? I remember when those kind of beads were popular in middle school
Yeah,
or
they
high
were.
school.
I
in high
don't
school, maybe.
remember. I feel like I was maybe a freshman when they were popular.
Okay. Like
So
everyone
maybe,
had those bracelets with those circle
so
heavier
maybe it was
beads.
more middle school into high school because maybe it was,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
Sometime in the early 2000s or
yeah.
around that
And
time,
so I do remember,
which
yeah.
fits the
Hmm.
time that it was. Um, so that's a good gift that she got. It's sweet.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, after their shopping scene, okay, Rory is upset because Emily invited her whole class to
Yes.
a fancy birthday party that Emily's throwing her.
And she
Didn't
didn't
even
even
tell
tell
Rory.
Rory. That is very, like, that
Oh,
is not okay. Because it's
no.
not okay in any way. Yeah. Because if
In
she would have
any
told
way.
her, well, I was gonna say like, oh, she's just trying to be nice and throw a party, but really, she should have at least told her she was doing it,
Told her.
even if she
Even if she
didn't
didn't ask.
ask.
Right.
Yeah, she should have at least told
Told her.
her.
And in Emily's mind, oh, this is what you do.
Yeah,
Wait,
but
so
that,
did Emily tell her she was gonna have a party on? She did say that.
well, she said that, but she didn't tell her
Didn't
she was
tell her she
going
was
to
gonna
invite
invite.
her class.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, and so she didn't know. So then Tristan walks up and with the invitation, and
Mm-hmm.
she is not happy,
No, and
not having
it
it.
would be that's so hard at that age. You're so embarrassed about everything.
Yes, like I would be mortified
Yes,
if like
because
our
you,
grandma did, our grandma wouldn't do that, but
oh, yes, but if she'd had, and you would think, yeah, you would worry that everybody thought it was your idea and that you wanted, you know.
yeah,
So I definitely get Rory being
yeah,
upset. Well, then it shows how kind Rory was when she chose not to mention it to
yeah.
Lorelai. She's like, they had a
There's
happy
peace with
day.
them. Mhm.
I don't
Don't
want to
want to
ruin
ruin.
it.
So she just kind of keeps it to herself. And
Hmm.
then we
By
have
the
the
way,
morning. Oh yeah,
sorry, I feel like Rory was nicer. Did we already talk about this? She was nicer in the first few seasons.
she was.
Yes.
She, which I think, I don't know, it's good and bad because I
Hmm.
think as she gets older, she is more confident in herself. And so that's good.
Yeah,
But
in
I
some ways
do
it's
think
good.
she is a little meaner, which
Hmm.
I don't love. Like, I'm like, meh. And she
Yes.
falls more into that wealthy world, but then it kind of acts like she's not a part of it, but she really is. And so there's
Yes.
that attitude. And so, because it's almost like she thinks she's better than the rich people, even though she's totally
Because
in that
she's not
world.
like them.
Yeah.
And Logan calls her out on it, which we'll get to that later.
Yeah, yeah. But the first few
But
seasons, she is just really sweet, and you feel like she cares a lot about people, and
mhm,
you don't see that as much in the later episodes.
seasons.
That,
Right.
yeah, and
Yeah,
so
I agree.
it is kind of sad because you feel like, I
Yeah,
don't
because she's
know.
not as much herself, or maybe she is, but
Yeah,
it's
I
not
don't
quite the
know.
same. But that's okay. It's part of, like you said, getting more confident as you get older.
Yeah,
But I feel like she still could have been nicer. Anyway.
yeah, agreed.
Um, yeah. So then we have Lorelai coming in at 4 a.m. to tell Rory her birth
Hmm.
story,
And we
which
love
is a
this too because
tradition.
there is a callback to it, like later in the series, you see it again. And so it's just sweet that you see that this is a tradition
Yeah.
for them.
I love that they do. I love when they do that. When they bring it up, they
Mhm.
show it again later because it
And it's
feels
just,
like
yeah.
it really is something that they do every year.
And it's
And it's just
special. Yeah.
funny, special to them.
Yes. So it's just cute. She tells her birth story, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
I was cussing like a sailor and all the that. And Rory
yeah.
obviously has it memorized. It's cute.
Oh,
And
it's so
then
cute.
we have Luke in the diner with the coffee
And
cake and
his sweetness,
balloons.
okay. So yeah, so he is so sweet with that, with the coffee cake and the balloons. This scene is cute all around. So
Mhm.
he makes her sit at the table
Yeah.
and she's
That's
talking
funny.
with Lane, and then Dean comes in and they
They
have
have
eye
eye
contact.
contact.
Eye contact. It always makes me think of Friends, the
Yes.
Phoebe and Rachel. Oh, it doesn't have to go as far. Not everything has to go as far as eye
Eye
contact.
contact.
But
I
yeah,
remember that.
so they're just cute. Like, and he mouths happy birthday to her, and it's just the sweetest. I don't, it's just like, as
So
a
sweet.
16-year-old, you would just be like so excited. Just the
So
excited
special.
feeling.
Oh,
Oh,
I remember one birthday.
yeah.
I think it was when I turned 17, and there were like, I think four different boys that called me that day to wish me happy birthday or
They
text
called you?
maybe. I think they called because texting wasn't really a thing yet.
It's
Because I
true. You
was
had to
like
pay to
a
text or
junior.
something.
Yeah.
And
Because
yeah.
everybody kind of just got cell phones my junior year, probably, and maybe my sophomore year. But yeah, that was so I think they all called, and some of them were just friends, but still, I was like, I felt so special. It was the
Yeah.
best. Oh,
It's so
good
good.
time.
But yeah, so then we see that and it's cute. And then we have her first
The
birthday
party.
party.
Yep, the fancy
And it
party.
is
Oh, I love
uncomfortable.
seeing, yeah, very uncomfortable, but I love seeing Emily boss the staff around that's setting up.
Mm-hmm.
We
Oh
get to see
yeah.
her in her element. I
Yes.
love
And
that.
then Lorelai comments, oh, 6 inches apart about the candlesticks. And you see that this is just standard
Her life,
Emily. Yeah, she has it all set up. The
the way things are
flow.
supposed to be, and that's how
Mm-hmm.
Emily does it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you see a little more of that. And then you see her classmates there, which it's there were quite a few classmates there, which I guess is fine. But for some reason, that surprises me because in my mind, I'm like,
Okay.
would you go to a person's birthday party that you don't know?
Well, I kind of feel like because of her grandparents,
Their
she has a little
parents,
more status, and they're so the other classmates' parents, again, like
yeah, are
Emily, that's
like,
what you do. That's what you do. You go to the party and you have to keep
okay,
up
yeah,
appearances. And so
that's
that
true. Because there
seems,
is a comment with a couple of the girls, like, oh, my parents are making me go.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
so.
it's kind of fun to see Tristan,
Mhm.
and then
And
Paris
he's
is
all flirty.
jealous.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Man, Tristan, yeah, it's true. We would have just eaten it up. Tristan's flirtiness
Oh
as
my,
teenagers.
oh,
Rory was
so
so she
fun.
had so much like self-respect and
She
awareness.
did. She was
But
so good, like
yeah,
not falling for his
yeah,
flirty charms.
yeah. So then we have the next birthday party at her home.
Yay,
And
the
this
fun
is
one.
yeah, because you just see the difference in their worlds. Like this
Hmm.
is the world where everything is just so, and then their world where everything's just laid back and cool. And I feel like they really tried
The
to
vibe.
make a difference
Right, a little over the top,
obvious.
but the obvious
Yeah.
difference. But it's fun. And
Yeah.
then how much she welcomes everybody into her home, and her home isn't perfect. But they love
Yes.
having
And
people come
everybody,
and
and it's again, it's the community that everybody's just there and happy and hanging out, and they all love Rory, and they're just
yeah.
honestly, okay, this is something that I want to say about just the show. So, Stars Hollow, I can't remember what the population is, but I want to say it's like 8 or 9,000, 7, 8 or 9,000. It's like
I thought it was even a little more than that.
maybe that. I just remember seeing a sign in some of the
Once.
episodes. I don't
We
know.
have to look for the
But I
sign.
know
Yeah.
it's bigger than what our town was. Granted, our town is very spread out, like more farmland, like stuff like that. But
Okay.
sometimes this town, I'm like, do people, because there is definitely community there and people know each other, but for some reason it feels like everybody in the town knows them. Like sometimes
Yes.
that's the vibe that it gives off.
Hmm.
But then I'm like, are they just popular in their town? Like they're unknown
I think they are because I've
because
started to
of,
see that as an adult in a town, like especially like with your kids going to school, that there
yeah.
are certain people that are more known. Like Lorelai's a business owner, or not yet. She's not a business
That's
owner yet,
true,
but
but
like
she runs a
she goes to
business
yeah, and she
and
goes to the
she
town
moved
meetings.
there. So I'm sure people knew her story too. like when she moved
Right.
there
And
with
she has a child
Rory.
going to the schools, and you get to know more
Yes.
of the adults in the community when your kids
Yeah, that's
are
true.
you're like
Okay.
involved in that. And so we're so serious. But yeah, it does. It happens. So it's an
Yeah.
I don't think it's that everyone in the town knows them, but a lot of like
Yeah.
the people that are in charge of things
And
or
the people who are really social and involved in town events and stuff.
events.
She is very involved. She goes to town meetings.
So it's
Right.
not so small that everyone knows everyone in the town, but
It's
it's
just the more involved people
people,
know. Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
people. So
No, thanks. Thanks for
we'll get to
letting me
the,
go off on the side thing.
yeah,
So the birthday
we love our
party.
tangent.
So Emily and Richard come. It's awkward when
Yes.
they come in,
We
but it's
love the merging of the two worlds. So I love
Mhm.
when Emily and Richard come to Stars
Yes.
Hollow. And then, yes, and they obviously feel uncomfortable, but it's good they came and
Yes, it's good. And I feel like it was a good time. Like it
it
wasn't
was.
awkward all the way through. It was just the beginning. And
Oh, we did skip over their fight at the end of the
oh,
first party.
yes.
So
Yeah.
real quick, you saw Emily's meaner, colder side when the way
Hmm.
she was with Rory and Lorelai. No, you don't do this in front of my guests, in front of your guests, you know.
Yeah.
And you do understand Lorelai's point of view more when you see that side of Emily.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
That's
was a good,
true.
but it's good. So then, yeah, they had the fight, but it's good they came to the other
Hmm.
party and tried to
So it
support
kind of
Rory.
helps soften things
Mhm.
and yeah,
And
kind
then
of.
how cute is Richard on the porch with the magazine?
Yes. That I've seen little clips. Have we talked about this where it's like that voice where he talks about
Yes,
he's an
I'm an
autumn.
autumn.
I've
I'm an
seen,
autumn.
yeah, it's like voiceover of a
Yeah,
TikTok
it's a
thing or something.
right,
Or
and
I see it on
showing the
Instagram
fall.
because we're millennials who don't have TikTok.
I know, we just have Instagram,
I just
but
see Instagram stuff. So, but yeah,
well, especially
it is.
because it was the fall.
But another thing that we love in this episode is Luke when he brings the ice.
And how cute are his forearms when he brings in the ice, right? His
Love
sleeves
some good
rolled
arms
up.
also. Yeah. Yes, his
Carrying
arms
the
are,
heavy ice.
and Lorelai is flirty, which
Very flirty. Very
she,
flirty.
okay, part of me was like, well, I don't know if this was in the writing, but I know like 'cause she offers Emily drinks. Maybe she has had a couple drinks, and so she's more
Oh,
relaxed and more like
you're right.
more just flirty. And so that because
Yeah,
she
because you're
does
right.
flirtier than normal with him. She's like,
So I think it's on
and like hugs
purpose.
him. Yeah.
Yes. She
Yeah.
hugs him and
So
he smiles. It's
yeah.
cute. It is such a cute moment. And
Yeah.
it kind of shows a little bit of like the Max versus Luke in the because Max
Oh,
was more in the last episode, episode 5, and then in episode 6 you
yeah.
see Luke in his manly
Yeah.
lumberjack shirt with the big arms.
Big arms.
No,
His
oh,
arms.
we always loved arms. I always liked,
It was, I had a ridiculous list of things when I was in high school. I was like, for the guy I wanted, it was so dumb. But one of them was like, has nice arms. It's so dumb.
you know, well, I wanted a guy with at least like more muscular or bigger arms than mine because not that my arms are muscular. They're just a little, we were always self-conscious about our
We
arms.
always, you
Like,
were more
no.
than I was because we always had thicker arms, but I feel
Yeah.
like you would talk about them all the time. And for some reason, I'm like I was
Okay.
aware of it, but
No,
I
yours
feel
are
like it
cuter.
was,
I probably got a little bit of a complex about it because my high school boyfriend one time we were eating Chinese food and he goes, "Your arms, it doesn't matter about the Chinese food, but like I had a
okay,
t-shirt
this makes so much sense because I was always confused at why you brought it up so much
so much.
because
I think
somebody
it
commented on
was.
it.
He was like, "Your arms are bigger than mine," which wasn't true, but like it,
No,
right?
it,
It like
yeah,
sticks with
okay,
you when you're
it makes sense. It all
17.
makes sense now. There was a time where my high school boyfriend like did like show me the video. He like
He
weirdly would
like,
do that, like hit my arm
oh
fat, and like he thought it was funny. And then there was another time we
my
were at this
gosh.
and his friends did it. Like two of his friends were like, "Oh," and I was like, "This is uncomfortable for me." Like
No, you do
security.
not do
What are you
that.
guys? So
Oh my goodness. Okay,
yeah,
what not to
teenage
do?
boys, man.
Oh, no.
They're
Dean
not
would not
very,
do that.
yeah. So
No.
no, I wouldn't. Well, because
Tangent.
Rory has thinner arms. That's why.
Well,
I'm just
that's true.
kidding.
Anyway, the point is we love a guy with big arms. Him,
So
but
we feel
not
better
too
about our
big.
arms.
Yeah. But you have said
Okay,
not
there is
like
such a thing as too big.
right.
Like
You
those
don't want
massive like
giant.
um bodybuilder arms.
Yeah. Like
Not
we
our
don't need
thing.
that. No.
We're very
But
specific about the arms.
no, but I think this is okay, real quick. Sorry to keep going with arms, but like the forearms, I don't think I noticed that that was attractive until I got older. I was like, oh, that's like a tan, sleeves rolled up. I don't know.
All right.
Cute.
Yeah. Yeah. So Luke is cute and Emily notices their interaction and comments on it.
Hmm.
And then Emily and Lorelai are upstairs and she sees a picture of her with a broken leg. She starts to realize that there's so much about Lorelai's life that she doesn't know.
Doesn't
Like,
know.
and
Right.
so that's kind of how, well, toward the end of the episode, when they leave,
Well,
she
that's
says that.
she says to Richard that
Yeah.
she's right. I don't know my daughter at all. And it's so heartbreaking the way
Yeah.
she says that.
Because,
She's sad.
yeah. And you see through the series too how, like, Emily is controlling, but she wants so badly to connect with Lorelai and be a part of her life.
Hmm.
Like, we've talked about that. But you see it, I just forgot what I was gonna say.
No, you see it. You do. You see her wanting that, but then she doesn't know
Yes.
how. She just doesn't know
Yes, she
how.
doesn't know how to connect with her. Oh, this is what I was gonna say, where the there's a later episode where Richard talks about how after Lorelai left, Emily couldn't get out of bed for a month. And that is heartbreaking because it's like Lorelai, I mean, she was young and she obviously was just angry and wanted to leave. But imagine your 16-year-old daughter, even though you're like, she obviously, Emily and Richard weren't happy about her having a baby at 16. But like,
Yeah.
imagine that, like, your daughter just leaves and like doesn't tell you
And
and
doesn't
just,
tell you where and takes the baby who you've
yeah.
been helping
Like,
raise. I
how,
think they were helping raise her for like a year.
yeah, how, like, not only heartbreaking, but like terrifying would that be?
Yes,
Just, yeah, how horrible.
I
And
know.
so
So sad.
it's sad. Anyway, so yeah, so
And
that
then
happens. And then
the
Dean
end.
gives Rory the bracelet. And this, okay, I remember when I was young watching this part of this episode specifically. This is a thing because when I started watching it, I hadn't really dated anybody. Like, there was one guy that I kind of dated, but we didn't even like, we didn't hold hands. We didn't like, we were just very nervous around each other all the time and we didn't date very long. It was kind of funny. But
Hmm.
so this episode, they hold hands and they link fingers. And I
Yes.
remember watching this and just being like, that's what I want. I want that. It just felt so romantic to me. I'm like,
Oh,
I want to link fingers with a
fingers.
boy.
Because
Something
it's
more
different
romantic
than
than, yeah, than
like
this.
your parents holding your hand
This is
like this.
like, this is my boyfriend. That's what I
Yes.
saw it as. I was just like, I'm holding hands with a boy that
Yeah.
I like and who likes me back. And I
So,
don't know. It just
do
was
you
different.
remember the first time you held hands with a boy? Was
Yeah,
it,
and it
oh,
was good. It
was
was
it
cute.
cute?
It was on the Raider bus on the way back from our choir. Was it state? I guess it was state. Our choir went to state that
Oh,
year,
that
my
year.
sophomore year,
Okay.
your senior year.
Yes, my senior year. Hmm.
And it was like we were probably annoying everybody the whole time. Sorry, I don't know what. Okay, so this is what happened. I'll just tell it really quick. Where we were just sitting, so we rode up on like a regular bus and then there was the Raider bus, which was like a coach bus, I guess,
Hmm.
but all the
Hmm.
seniors got to ride that bus, but because some of them left early with their left with their families, they didn't ride that back, and so whoever was riding back got to ride on the Raider bus because there just were fewer people. I don't know why I had to tell that part of it. Anyway,
Okay.
so
We love
let me
details.
tell real quick all the details. And so
That's what
we're
we love.
sitting, it is like a coach bus, so it has the seats and it has like a little light up top. And so we were sitting there, it's dark on the way back, we're talking, and I don't know what happened, if like he turned the light on and I was like, no, don't do that. And I was trying before I like turned the light off, and he kept turning it on, and I'm like, I'm sure people were like, stop turning the stupid light on and off,
Oh,
because it
but
happened
you
like
were
three
in
or
your
four
own
times.
world.
Oh yeah. And so finally he did it again, and I like hit it and just grabbed his hand, and then we were like
Aww.
holding hands. Like then
And
we
neither of
held
you
hands.
pulled away.
Yeah, and so then we were just holding hands, because I feel like that was, you know how sometimes that would happen where you're like trying to get something to happen by
Mm-hmm.
being
Mm-hmm.
obnoxiously flirty. And so that is what was
Oh yeah.
happening. And so that was the goal. And then it happened. And so then I pretended to fall asleep on his shoulder.
That's the
You
best.
know?
Pretending to fall asleep and you're so aware of every movement.
And I'm just
Oh, I
like
love it.
asleep on his shoulder, like leaning on it. And then I was like, not as, yeah, I just didn't sleep at
No,
all.
you're wide awake the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what about you? Do you remember?
Yeah, the first guy I held hands with, I'm pretty sure it was someone I didn't like that much. We kind of he was he was cute and tall, but he was a little dorky. I just wasn't that into him. Like he
I'm trying to think of who it was. Was he
I'll
from
tell-
school or from church?
from church. Anyway,
Oh,
he
okay.
yeah. Well, one time he tried to hold my hand at the movies first. We went with a bunch of people, and he was sitting like this, his hands on his legs, like it
Oh,
was
I
so
thought you
obvious.
meant like on the armrest, like
No, no, but like his hands were down. I just pulled him up to
they
show,
were
but like,
okay.
sitting there,
Oh, just
or
waiting for
just
you to
one, I
link
guess
fingers
one, the
with them.
one that was beside me. And I was like this the whole time. And then he whispered in my ear at one point, "You're being difficult." Because I knew he was just
This
obvious.
story
Like he
sounds familiar when that he sounds not great.
he
Right?
he thought he had moves, but he didn't. Um, so yeah, that at the movies I did not hold his hand, but then we went, I don't know, we hung out a few more times and he held my hand in the car or something and
I might know
I
who
don't
it is. Okay,
I
I'll
don't think
ask
we
him.
ever yeah, we never kissed, but and I wouldn't even say we dated. We just kind of like hung out mostly in groups with other people, but he liked me and I was 16 and kind of like Rory, where I was like shy about it and didn't know. But also, if a boy liked me that was like, I don't know. I just didn't know how to say, I'm not interested. So I
Yes.
kind of strung him along a little bit and then he got the hint at some point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my first hand holding story is not romantic. Yours is cute. Yours is cute.
Well,
But
so yeah, so that's the end of that episode. The
yes,
linking
and
fingers.
so cute. And the bracelet too, he made
Oh
it
yes, and he gives her
and
that.
it
I was
comes
so focused on the linking fingers, I forgot about the bracelet.
yes, with the
But
bracelet and it comes up later. It's the infamous bracelet. So
yeah, we love it. And
we will
it's so
get to that
sweet that
again.
he, and I feel like it was a good gift for that early on, because it was
Hmm.
simple, but he made it, and
Very
but it wasn't
thoughtful.
like he put so much time. It was a simple thing that he made. So
Yes.
it was good. It was sweet.
Sweet.
All right, last
Okay.
episode of the episode.
Kiss and
Kiss and tell.
tell.
This episode is so
Yay.
cute.
I know. We
The
love it.
it starts well, the beginning is Lorelai talking about how she's not wearing any
Oh, I love
underwear.
it. It's kind of nice, actually. Breezy. Oh,
Yeah.
and it's officially fall in Stars Hollow in this episode. All the
Yes.
decorations
Yeah,
are
because I
out.
think Rory's birthday is like October 8th, I think.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, so now it's like fall is falling.
Fall is falling.
Yeah.
It's so fun seeing all the decorations in the town just come to life. I mean, it always is, but
Hmm.
I just the autumn festival is going on. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
And there's pumpkins everywhere and all the things.
Yes, and it's so
And
cute.
the
Yeah.
another quote of Lorelai's, "Have you been doing laundry without me?" She's all offended. It's
Which,
just a
oh,
fun
this is something that I was
conversation.
thinking about where I'm like, okay, this does make the episode where the first day episode where she has no clean clothes because she hates doing laundry, which again, she could have
Oh.
worn something dirty, but
Hmm.
this does make it more like, okay, she probably really had no
It's
clean clothes because she is,
Yeah, I guess it's believable. That yeah, it kind of
yeah,
fits. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I could see that. We meet Taylor in this
oh
episode.
yeah,
The
that's true.
town, does he have a title? He's not the mayor yet.
He
Town
is the
selectman.
council selectman. Yeah, I was gonna say the
Yeah.
councilman, but I knew it didn't sound right. The town selectman. Because I didn't really understand that for a long time. I kind of thought he was the mayor, but then I realized he's not. And then
Mhm.
when Jackson runs for town selectman, that's when I really kind of understood. I was like, oh, that's what Taylor is. Because that's
Yes, yes,
later in
yes.
the series.
Okay,
Taylor,
so then we
we
have
meet
pretty
him.
early in the episode, though, we
Their
have
first
the
kiss.
cornstarch. Yeah.
It's so cute. This is such a cute kiss. This also was, I remember watching this and being like, I want to have the confidence to just kiss someone like that. Like he just kisses her. Cause so she's
Hmm.
standing in the store holding the cornstarch, pretending that she's
Yes.
looking at it. And he comes over and he asks her if she wants a if she wants a pop. That's what he said.
And that's a cute
Which,
conversation, the
yeah,
soda versus pop, which, what did we say growing up?
we said soft drinks.
That's
Which
right.
okay, this
That's right.
I do think I looked or I heard this once in Pennsylvania, that kind of area there, it is a little more common, or it was for people to say soft drinks. And our dad is from
Okay.
Pennsylvania, and our mom lived there for a little bit too. Like they, and
Okay, so that
so
makes sense. We always, yeah, we're
yes,
like, do you want a soft drink? Can I have a soft drink?
yes,
Yes.
we always
That's
said soft
funny.
drink. Also, when
But
I was a
people,
kid, oh, what?
well, then, yeah, people from the West and the East would say soda or pop. I don't know which,
But a lot of
because
people
I've
in
heard
our
of
town would
both
say
from both.
Coke for everything.
Yes. Or sody. You want a
Yes,
sody?
it's true. They totally would. Yeah. We grew up pretty close to Kentucky. So Southern
That's
Indiana,
right.
baby. I don't know why I did
Yep.
this. Like that's not anything. But
I didn't even see.
you
But
know,
it's
wanna
true. Everybody would say, yeah, do you want a Coke or
yeah.
sody
And
yeah.
so yeah, or sody, which I hate
Yeah,
sody. But
I
so we would
know.
always
But
say
if
soft
it's
drinks. But now I say soda. Because I mean I've
I
lived out
do.
west long enough. I feel like that's maybe that I don't know. Yeah.
I say soda. And most people, I don't hear a lot of people saying pop. Well, my friend from Utah says pop. Then she
Yeah,
grew
I
up
was
there.
gonna say I feel like there are maybe some people in Utah who say pop because like
But
I
then
almost
Dean
want
was
to
from Chicago and he said pop.
Chicago. Maybe
Hmm.
it's like a bigger city thing. I don't know. We should have maybe done a deep dive on this. Just kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. But
And
that's
so
cute, their little conversation.
yeah, and then
Then,
he's like having her guess what is in each hand, and while she's talking, he just kisses her, and it's so
yes.
cute.
Well, I put in my notes, okay, is the first kiss smooth? Like, is Dean smooth with that move?
I think he is like
Okay.
well. I
I
have been
kind of do too.
interrupted mid-sentence from by a kiss and I was not a fan because I was actually it was because I was sharing some like heartfelt thing and I
Oh,
felt
and
like
then
he was just like horny and kiss it was just not. I was like that's
yes,
not the
like he
move.
wasn't listening and he just
But yeah,
interrupted.
it felt that's but this felt sweet because she wasn't talking about it. She was just kind of like guessing like it was very
Yeah,
lighthearted
it
whatever.
was.
And
And I
so
think it was okay because a little bit before that, she told him she liked him and he gave her the bracelet. Like they had kind of established that
yes.
they want to
And they had held
date.
hands.
Yeah.
Step one.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was okay for him to have that confidence and just kiss her. And I like
Yeah.
that way better than my first kiss.
Yes, tell us about your first kiss.
Which
Sharing
at
lots of
least,
stories in this episode.
yeah, our
But it
first
is
hand holding and our
her
first kiss.
firsts, so you can
Yes,
share
so
it.
it's fun to share. It makes you think of
Mhm.
your own. So my first kiss, it wasn't the same guy about that I held hands with first. The first kiss boy was like my main high school boyfriend, and we had been hanging out, and I liked him, and it was fun. Okay, we had been I don't we I don't know if we called each other boyfriend and girlfriend quite yet, but we had held hands and cuddled and stuff, but we just hadn't kissed. And so one
Mhm.
night of course, I drove my car, I think, a lot. I don't know. His car was kind of crappy. So I was dropping him off after we went out to eat or whatever, dropping him off at home, at his house, I mean, and he like wasn't getting out of the car. And we kept talking, and it was this drawn out conversation, and we both knew we wanted to kiss each other, but it just wasn't said. But I remember not even knowing what I was saying, like not even listening to what he was saying or what I was saying, because I was so nervous because I just wanted us to kiss. And it was such a drawn out moment. And I knew he wanted to kiss me. And
Mhm.
finally, I just blurted out, "Are you going to kiss me or what?" Which I was kind of proud of myself for because I
Yes,
wasn't
that's
usually
good.
that
You had to
bold,
make
right?
the move.
Like, let's make
Hmm.
this happen. And then but he kind of got upset that I did that. He's like, "What? What? I'm supposed to like make the move. Why did you say that?"
You weren't making the move.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
I was helping you along. And so, yeah, so we kissed, but it was his first kiss too. So it just was awkward. We didn't know what we were doing, and it was no.
Yeah, it
It just
was no.
wasn't cute. And so it took a while, a few more times of kissing to kind of get that.
Yeah.
But
And then you
and
guys taught
then,
me,
yes, because I'm two
well,
years older, so my
you
friend,
gave me
like one of my
tips.
best friends, we gave you and your friends tips on, okay, when you first kiss a guy, do not like just be a dead fish because it's not gonna
I do
be
remember
cute.
that.
Oh, it
And
was
they're like,
fun.
you have to like layer your lips. I don't even know. It was like,
Oh yeah. Oh, it's funny to
um,
actually put it into words because
I know.
like
It's
no
one of
one
those things that
says that.
feels weirdly vulnerable to say because you're like,
But
yeah,
okay, did
but
it help you be
it helped me
prepared?
so much because then that it was like the next time I hung out with this guy. So mine, it was the same guy that I held hands with for the first time.
Hmm.
And we had actually been well, kind of unofficially dating for a few months before we
Okay.
kissed. Because
Oh.
nervous, but he had kissed at least one person before we dated. Or yeah, before we yeah. Anyway, so we had been hanging out all summer long, and then we even said I love you, I think, before we kissed. It was pretty quickly,
Oh.
but pretty soon before we kissed. That
Hmm.
anyway, but it was just I was so nervous about it. And
Hmm.
so we were hanging out at his house, and I was determined. And I think it was just like right after you guys gave me tips because I was like, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna do it. Today, tonight is the night. So we were hanging out at his house, and then he walked me out to my car, which was our car. So it was the same exact car that you had your
Hmm.
first kiss in. But we were just
Oh.
standing outside the car, and um we were talking and kind of like hugging and talking and like just yeah, hugging, facing each other, talking, and we'd
Yeah.
get close, and then I would kind of freak out and back away and just start rambling. And then I think it was the same thing where I didn't really know what I was saying. I was just in my mind, I'm like, I have to kiss him before I leave, like it's gonna happen. And we stood out there for
Yes.
45 minutes just kind of going back and forth. And
Okay, it's
finally,
similar.
yeah, finally I was just like, okay, I have to do it. And it was just kind of, you have to just like, it's like jumping off a cliff,
Yes,
or
it's like jumping off a diving board or yeah,
yes,
cliff
where it's
jumping.
just like
Yeah.
you're like, oh, you're just
Like,
like
okay,
exposed
yeah,
for yeah,
hesitate.
yeah. You're out there, it's happening, you're going. And so then it happened, and it was very sweet, just a few simple pecks, which for me was great because I was like, that's all
Hmm.
I wanted, just the start of it
Just yeah,
to
getting
get
that part out of the
the
way.
band-aid off. Yeah. So
Yep,
that
yep, yep.
happened, and then it was immediately I was like, all right, well, I gotta go because it had happened. I gotta like accomplished my goal for the day. And so,
Cute.
yeah, so then I went home and told you about it. And that's
Yeah.
something I love too in this episode with Rory and Lane. You see how
Oh,
Lane is so excited for her and makes her tell the story over and over again. It's so, and
yes.
it's just
That's how it
smart with your
was
friends. You're like,
with your
you're so
best
excited and you
friends.
want to, yeah.
And you like gush and you tell each other all the details and you
Yeah.
care when you're best friends, like you care. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so fun. And we could dissect every little moment, you know.
Every little
So that's
detail.
true.
So, yeah.
So that they're at the cornucopia, right? Talking, Lane
hmm
and Rory.
Well, because
It's
first
just so
Lane,
sweet.
like Rory runs, but that's when, yeah, they're saying that.
Oh yeah,
Because first she
at to
tells
her
her
house.
at her house, and that's how Mrs. Kim finds out, and then how Rory or
Tells.
Lorelai finds
Which,
out.
speaking of, mothers
Such a real
always
thing
find things out. That is
in a
so
small
real.
town. Yeah.
Yes. I tried to sneak out once and did I already tell this story? But my
No.
best friend and I told our moms that we were going to spend the night at each other's houses and we were going to go meet boys camping. Okay. We were seniors. We weren't super young. Like we were almost 18 or around there, maybe 18. And we knew the
hmm
boys, like it was my boyfriend and some of his friends. So it wasn't as dangerous as like it might sound. So anyway, but we both told our moms we were spending the night at each other's houses, and our moms ran into each other at the grocery store, IGA. Okay, they figured it out before we could even like during the day. It ruined
hmm
our plan. So anyway, it's just very realistic. Like
Yeah.
moms always find out.
They always know.
Yeah,
I never
but
snuck out. I was such a good kid.
oh,
I
well,
feel like
that was one of
maybe
the
that
only
was the only time.
times.
I feel like though you were more not
A
rebellious, but
little.
like a little
I
more,
tried to like go to the edge. I didn't
yeah,
really try to cross the line, but like
yeah,
I tried to
yeah.
have some excitement, I guess. But no,
Oh
it
yeah,
wasn't never anything crazy. I was not like a big partier or anything like that.
yeah.
So, but yeah, the one
Anyway,
time I tried to sneak out, that's what happened. I got in trouble before I even could do
which is
it.
funny because mom would always be like, "You guys are way better than I was as a teenager," because she and her sisters
Yeah.
would sneak out all the time, apparently.
Yes,
So
exactly. So she was lucky with
good.
us.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, so
so Lorelai finds out and she's just sad that Rory
that
didn't
Rory
tell
didn't tell
her.
her, but Rory was going to go tell her, but then the refrigerator thing happened, and Lorelai was kind of stressed, and she felt like she started to overthink it. She was like, oh, wait, she's not in a good mood. Also, she's gonna know that this is the guy that I wanted to like
Stay to not go to
stay
Chilton for. And so
for.
she just
Yeah.
was scared her mom wouldn't like him and wouldn't approve like in that moment.
hmm
Because it is new territory for them.
Yes.
And so she hesitates and doesn't tell her. Well,
Yeah.
then back to Rory and Lane talking. Another thing about best friends is how Lane is supportive of Rory no matter what. I just love that. She doesn't,
Yes.
like, you go to your friends, there's no judgment. It's just exciting. Because you see
Yes.
that
Yeah.
later too when Rory, at the end of season 4 or 5, end of season 4, I guess.
Oh yeah, when Rory and Dean get together again,
Yeah.
and Lane is not. You just don't judge it. Judge your friend.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're a little too supportive. It's like that video where remember it's totally you, the one that it's like that friend that just is always on your side.
On your side.
You're
Yes.
always
Oh,
on my
you
side,
murdered somebody?
even
Okay. Like, where's,
without me.
yeah. Without me?
And
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
it's just
It's
like,
cute.
yeah, you hit somebody on the street or something. You're just like, well, he shouldn't have been walking there. Oh, it was on the sidewalk. Oh, well, I don't know. I wish I could quote
Well,
it better,
still.
but it's yeah,
And that's exactly what it is. Like with best friends, you just are on each other's side. So
yeah,
it's fun to see Lane like that, which there's nothing to be judgy about in this moment anyway. But so
right.
Rory, she's just more
Later
hesitant.
though, there's so much to be
There's a
judging.
little more to be judgy about later. Yes. We see Lorelai and Luke's friendship a lot in this episode when they go.
Yes.
So she's at Dosie's, right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
she's
and
like
they
trying to spy on
spying
Dean.
on Dean.
And
And
I love when Luke runs into her and he just like, you're crazy. But then he just joins in. She's like
yeah,
watching what
it's
he
so
does.
good.
He's just
Yeah.
throwing the lemons in the bag, or however she says that.
Tossing them
Tossing
like
those lemons.
they mean nothing. They're lemons.
What do
Yeah.
you think of when she said she thought Dean looks like Christopher?
Okay. These are my thoughts on this because for a long time I'm like, no, he does not. Not at all. But the first episode that Christopher comes in, Rory makes a comment and she's like, "Oh, his hair looks good shorter," or something like that. So like I think he
Yes.
had longer hair, but his hair is kind of curly, so it is different than Dean. But I still don't think like they have different builds. But it,
Yeah. But I
I'm
think
like, how does he
maybe,
remind you of Christopher? He's a guy. He's a teenage boy.
yeah.
That is
But
how he
I
reminds me.
think, true, I don't think he looks that much like him either. But I think maybe from high school, like Christopher from high school, when Lorelai was all into him and his hair, like you said,
Yeah.
his hair was probably longer. He's just the like heartthrob, tall, cute boy in that
Well,
sense.
yeah. But then there is an episode where you see Christopher and Lorelai younger.
Yes.
Remember, yeah, and I don't think he looks like Dean, like the
No.
actor they have, because he doesn't
I
have
feel like in
long
that
hair.
episode where they have different actors as them as
Hmm.
teenagers, I almost think they could have just used
Use
Lauren
them.
Graham and what's his name? Sorry,
I
and the
almost said
actor.
Christopher Hayden.
Yes,
I
the
don't know.
actor, and just kind of made him look a little younger. But anyway,
Yeah.
that always
They,
bugs me
yeah.
when they.
I never know what's best though, because sometimes
I know.
it works and sometimes it doesn't. And so
Yeah.
I don't know.
But we can get to that in that episode
Yeah.
later. Anyway, so yeah, I don't think he looks that much like Christopher, but I get what she was saying. And
Hmm.
then it's just cute how she talks to Luke that whole time and she can just
Yeah.
be herself with Luke. It's fun to see
Yes.
her and Luke together.
Yeah. It is.
And he
They're
kind of
just
teases
comfortable.
her and
Yes. Yeah.
laughs at
It's
her.
cute.
Okay, so then she gets Rory to admit it. So, kissed any good boys lately? Behind the fridge. And they kind of she's just kind of annoyed
She,
that that's how
yeah. Yeah.
Lorelai
And
said
so
it.
she tells him, I love the, why did you do it wrong?
No, I
It's so
don't
cute.
think so.
This episode is so cute because it feels like a very long episode because a lot
A
happens and the
lot
kiss
happens.
happens so early on in the episode. Because then we go into the movie night.
It's our
And
first movie night.
I love this episode because you continue to see, I guess we've already talked about it, the awkwardness at the beginning of dating when you don't have much experience and you're like, I don't know how to be or how to talk. And
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
and her trying to get ready. But first, we'll talk about, yeah, they go to the store and get all their snacks. So you get this, you get to see their
Snacks
like
for the movie night, which
nights.
literally we have done so many times. I mean, it's not necessarily a Gilmore Girls thing, but it kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know.
You
I
have to have
remember
your
doing that
snacks.
in high
Yeah.
school one time, and mom we said she asked if we wanted pizza or Chinese food, and we're like, "Oh, let's do both. Let's do a Gilmore Girls movie night." And Zach was in it too. He was so excited, our younger brother. And so she did. She's like, "Okay, let's get both."
How do I
And
not even
then
remember this?
I
Like, was
actually
this?
don't know if you were there. You might have been out with Jake or something.
Oh
You're
my gosh.
or out with your boyfriend, sorry. You might have been out.
Thanks for clarifying that. How
But
did
I
I
think
miss
you might
this?
not have been there because I remember specifically Zach being there and mom, but not you.
I'm like the main person. Just kidding. I'm the main
I know,
character in this situation. No,
I
it
know.
was like I was the Gilmore Girls obsessed one, but
Yes,
no,
but mom
you
let us get
liked it too.
both plus some desserts and things like to make it a movie night. And I forget what we watched, but that wasn't the point. The point was like being together and getting all the food and just making it fun and comfort.
Yeah,
It was fun. So Gilmore Girls
that.
movie nights are
But it also
a
kind of
thing.
ruined this show, man. It gave me this, yeah,
False
I
sense of
false sense of what
being
food
able.
does to you. Like, I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
of
I can
being able
just
to.
eat junk and nothing will happen. I actually remember when I think I was in like middle school or elementary school. I don't know if I was middle school, I was kind of chubby, so I don't know why I thought this. There was some point where I was eating a nutty bar and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have a second one. And I was eating it and I thought, I can do that. Like, I can eat this and nothing happens. Like, it's totally fine. Like, I don't know what people are talking about. The
I kind of
sugar makes you
remember
fat.
thinking, yeah, I remember thinking the same thing at certain points at that age because you don't see any difference,
I mean,
obviously,
obviously,
right
right
then.
away, no one does. But
Mhm.
yeah, it was just funny.
But yeah, that's how our young minds work.
Hmm. Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
they get their snacks at Dosey's. It's fun.
mhm.
Another good line. It's expensive to slowly rot your insides, isn't it? That's a good
Yeah.
line. And oh, and chill out, supermarket slut. When Rory's all
That is a
embarrassed.
good, yeah, good
But
line.
also in this scene, the timing of thing bugs.
Yes, it
Okay.
does. We're not fans of
Because
this timing weirdness.
yes, okay, so they're at the grocery store. Dean is working. It's
Hmm.
dark outside.
Yes, which it is
And
fall, so it
yeah,
would
that's
possibly
believable.
be
Like
dark by this
around
time if it's
6.
like 6
Yes.
or
Which we're
maybe, yeah,
guessing it's around then
close
because
to 6 because he says he gets off at 7 and the video store is going to close soon. So is
they
it the
said
video?
yes.
Maybe it
Why
closes at
would the video
6:30.
store close at 6 or
Makes
6:30?
no sense. No sense, especially because is it, well, I guess maybe it's not a Friday night, but
Oh
it's
yeah. Maybe
now I'm
Saturday
like,
night.
it was probably Saturday night because the festival thing
Hmm.
was that. Okay.
So, especially on a Saturday night, you would not close the movie rental store
Right.
at 6 or 6:30. Okay.
It doesn't make sense, even in a small
And we
town, because
know,
like
yeah, even in small
we
towns.
have rented so many movies. You don't even know.
Well, that was our time, like the
We
90s and
did.
early
But
2000s. That's what you did on a
right.
weekend night. That
Yeah,
was
you
the
just
event
go
a lot of times.
pick out a movie, maybe get some snacks
Hmm.
at the place, and then come home and watch the movie. I remember once we rented Nicholas Nickleby and we took it back immediately after like 20 minutes.
We were so bored.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember renting movies a lot with, yeah, with some of our friends. We would come over, or they would come over.
Yeah.
We'd go, anyways, when we were young too. It was so fun and
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, we loved
And
it.
then we had 2 movie rental places in our town. Then a little bit later,
Mhm.
Jasper got Family Video, which was more of a chain, which
Yeah.
Family Video stayed open till pretty recently.
Yeah.
Like only a
Because
few years ago, it closed finally.
yeah,
Like even when we
which is
had our
crazy.
oldest son, when he was little, we would still go rent movies. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't that long ago, really. It was maybe 10 years ago or
Yeah.
8 years ago, where
So crazy.
we would take him and
Which the
rent
one
movies.
close to our old house when we were younger, I don't know if it's still open, but our oldest brother went a few years ago. He was just like exploring our town. He was visiting, and he said he went to that video store
It was called
and
Budget.
budget video. And he said it was closed, but he looked inside and he said it looked exactly the same. So
But they would
maybe
sell weird things too, like
random
fireworks
stuff. They
and
would sell fireworks and I don't know what else.
I don't
We
know.
were always like, there's something sketchy about this place.
Yeah. It's so
Anyway.
fun, so nostalgic. Okay.
Mhm. So yeah, it
So
was weird that they closed early, but so then Dean comes over, he
they
gets caught by
watch Willy
Babette,
Wonka. Oh yeah,
and
cute.
then and then Suki comes over. Everybody's trying to see what's happening. It's so funny
Oh, so
because all
funny
the
and so
adults
cute.
trying to like live vicariously through the teenagers,
That is a
their
real
life.
thing. They
Yeah,
like look over your shoulder the whole time.
they're
You
like,
feel
"What's
like you're
happening?" And they're so excited for you. And
Mhm. Real quick, Rory getting so mad at Lorelai for inviting Dean over is
yes,
funny.
okay, it is
Yeah.
funny and realistic because that would feel weird. Your mom
Yes,
inviting the boy that you like over. What?
right. Especially for the first time. I would feel the
Yeah,
same way as Rory. And I
yeah.
love her reaction. It feels very realistic. Okay. Like very
Yes.
teenagery.
Okay. Yeah, her like weird face, like, Like almost
Yes.
like she's about to cry. She's just like,
Yes. And when it shows them getting annoyed at each other, I love those moments because they're not really in a fight, but you
yes.
let, when it's your people, like your family, your friends, you let each other see that
Yes,
side
the worst.
of
This is
you.
what I say about like your oldest son. I guess, yeah. Anyway, how he's a teenager now. And so it's funny
Hmm.
because I'm like, I almost take it as a compliment that he'll get not necessarily annoyed at me, but he'll be his annoyed, like emotional teenagery self around me. I'm like,
Yes.
comfortable around me. That makes
Yeah, he's
even
comfortable enough.
just like, whatever, does the weird teenager things.
Attitude.
Yeah.
The
And I'm
attitude.
like,
That's
we
true.
love it.
Yes. Because you know that he
Anyway,
feels comfortable. That's
yeah.
true. Oh, another good Lorelai quote. This is good. Add some cold cream and some curlers and let him know what he'll be coming home to every
Yeah.
night.
When Rory's in the robe trying to, she's like, well, now I have to find something cute to wear because I'm gross and da da da
Oh,
da.
yeah, that's her quote that I love. Now I'm supposed to look pretty and girly, which is completely impossible because I'm gross and I have nothing to wear. Okay, that
Very
is
realistic.
so realistic and so what it was like for just that's
Yes.
something we would have said. I'm gross. We
Yes.
still sometimes say stuff
Yeah.
like that or I have to
Well,
look
even
girly.
times when I'm like trying to dress up and I'm like, I hate everything. I hate it. Nothing looks good. It's depressing. But yeah,
No.
so it's such a real thing. And this, I love this part where she's like, how do you always know what to say? You just see
Mhm.
her being this young teenager that is just doesn't know how to
Yeah, because she doesn't
impress
have
a boy.
experience yet. She just
Yeah.
doesn't
And
have
it's
any
just cute.
experiences to draw on yet. And she looks up to her mom. You see that.
Mhm.
It's sweet. And I love Lorelai's responses. It's really cute. She throws the outfit together and then she's like, your blue eyes, you'll be fine. Just and then she does the hair twirl. I can
Yes.
teach you. It's just
Yes.
sweet, the whole moment.
Yeah, it is. It's good. And then so then Dean comes over. This is funny. Like she gets really embarrassed really easily, I feel like, with
Hmm.
the baby pictures. I'm like, who cares if there's a baby picture of your butt? Like
Yes.
or
Yeah,
that
nobody
you
cares.
thought a weeping willow needed to be cheered up. That's cute. Like, but I
That,
guess
yeah, those are cute stories, but when it's someone you're just barely starting to
I
date,
guess yeah, maybe you are embarrassed. I do
self-conscious.
remember being at it so our mom's best friend, like their family, well, our parents' best friends, I guess their family, we would go to their house. We were at their house for something. It was like maybe a
And they
graduation party or
had
something.
boys
They had
our
boys, but
age.
well, there was no, the guy I was dating was with me,
Oh,
and we were there, and their mom, so our mom's best friend, she loved to just tell people this, where she's like, "Did Kim tell you that we used to call her Thunder Thighs when she was a baby?"
okay, so were you embarrassed or did you laugh?
I think I laughed, but I do think I was a little embarrassed because I was self-conscious about my thighs. I've always had big thighs. And but the thing about I liked about the guy I was dating, he also had like bigger thigh like because some guys have very stick legs where he had
Yes.
like more strong legs and I
Okay.
loved that because I was insecure
Then
about
you
my
did.
thighs.
Yeah.
And so I think I was a little embarrassed because it was an insecurity that I had and they're like laughing. They're like, well, you just called her Thunder Thighs because I was a chubby baby. I was 10 and a half pounds when I was born, which is
Oh,
big, but I was
chubby
a cute
baby.
baby.
So cute. Oh,
Yeah.
another nostalgic thing. Oh, yeah, a nostalgic thing is the magazines. I love when Lorelai goes to the kitchen to give them a little privacy, which she's so cool. She gets it. She's like, and then she even says, I'm trying to be a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And
She's like, well,
she's
such gears here. I'm freaking out. It's such a cute
cute
moment.
moment. And just the fact that she sits and reads a magazine at the table. Like, you don't
Yes.
do that now.
Because
You pick up your phone now and like
right. Because we
scroll.
did. I remember even in college, we would buy
Mhm.
Cosmopolitan. My roommate and
Mhm.
I, we'd have Cosmopolitan night or Cosmo. I don't even know. It was so silly. We're like, we have to read all these tips for getting boys to like you or whatever. It was so dumb. Like we thought we were
Cute.
cool. But it was fun
No,
though,
we
like
loved
just
it.
reading
And there
magazines
was,
and there were little cute articles or little
yes. And then
quizzes
there
or
was
things
like
like that.
Glamour magazine and People Style
Oh,
Watch, where you it was more about this
17 when we were teenagers.
17. We loved.
Hmm.
It was just fun. Just
Yeah.
definitely showing the
Those were
times when you see
fun.
that. I know.
Yeah.
But so then okay, there's an inconsistency I noticed. Dean says his reason for knowing that Prince Charming from Sleeping Beauty can dance. He's like, I've got sisters. Sisters,
Yes. But
plural.
we only ever see one sister. And
Clara.
I'm pretty sure
And after
that's the
that,
only
never
one.
yeah, never another
Yes, that
sister
always
mentioned.
bothers me. Yeah.
hmm But we'll forgive it
It's
because we love the show.
we always forgive once. Just kidding. It's the Miss
It's
Patty
Patty.
line.
Yep.
Yeah. And
And then
so,
there were movie recommendations we would get from Gilmore Girls. They talked about The Way We Were.
oh yeah, I watched that
Remember?
because of Gilmore Girls. There are random
hmm
books, The Bell Jar, I read because of Gilmore Girls.
hmm
Didn't love it. Like it's a good book, but it made me sad.
Yeah, depressing.
Um,
And The Way We Were, actually, they mention it in several episodes because it comes up later when the breakup happens between Lorelai and Luke. But anyway,
oh yes. Mhm.
I had high expectations for The Way We Were because of this
Me
show.
too. And it was
And
like it was okay.
it
It
was
was cute. It
good.
had cute moments at the moment where that she references with Luke where it's like she just wants her best friend to come
Calls
over,
him.
yeah, and
That
be
is
with
a sweet
her.
moment. Also, a cute moment in it
And the
is
part on the
when
boat.
she's painting or putting books up and she has the cute
Yes.
overalls with the
Well, I think she even mentions
headband.
that in the putting the books on the shelf. I don't know. I've seen this movie so many times. Like that's what she
Yeah,
says, the putting
and
the
it's
books
such
on
a
the
cute
shelf.
scene.
Yeah.
You just want to be her. But yeah, still,
Uh,
it's not my favorite movie, but it's
yeah.
pretty good.
It's cute.
Oh,
I'm
wait, another quote.
tired.
Well, I'm afraid once your heart is involved, it all comes out in moron. I just thought that was a
Oh
cute
yeah.
Lorelai quote. And
Yeah.
let's just, I guess, go to the end when they're on the bed and it shows Lorelai why she was really upset about
Right. Well, yeah, and she's like, I just wanted to know, like, I wanted to hear the
hear
story because,
about it.
yeah, she is like her friend. She wants to know the story, and your mom always wants to, like, I think your mom
Yes, you
wants to
want to
know
be
these things.
excited and hear about it.
So she tells her about it. She's like, don't skip anything, and it's
Yes.
cute.
Tell
And
me how. Oh, start at the
everything,
beginning and you leave anything out, you
anything out, you
die.
die. That's what it is. Yeah, and
And
it's
that
so
is a
cute.
sweet moment. Um,
Why?
I remember a friend of ours saying she loved that scene in Gilmore
Hmm.
Girls because she's like, I always wanted that. Like, I wanted my mom to like say stuff like that to me and be able to talk to my mom and have that relationship. Like, I would have loved to have that because not a lot of moms and daughters probably don't have that.
Yeah.
I think we kind of did. Like, we
Hmm.
would tell our mom a
Yeah.
lot.
I think we were pretty close with her. I know. I don't know. I feel like at some point I didn't tell her as much, but you were always very open. Whereas like I
Yeah.
was a little bit when I was younger and then not as much as I got older. I don't know. But
Okay.
still pretty open, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like we
Like,
could tell her a lot. Not
yeah.
everything, like, because you don't, at some point, you just like feel embarrassed to say too much.
Hmm. Yeah.
But
But it was sweet. It was a good, I feel like, yeah, it was good. And
it was a good
also
end
another thing at the end was their other kiss, and Dean says thank you to her because that's what she said in her kiss.
to him.
Yeah, and that
Yes,
was cute
it's
too.
sweet. Yeah, that was a very full episode. That one was like so
Yeah,
much happened, like you
and
said.
it's so cute. We love it so much. So yeah,
Okay,
some good ones.
I think that's about it.
That is. So next week we're talking about episodes 8, 9, and 10.
Mhm.
So
It'll be good.
yeah, we're excited. They're all good ones.
Okay, see you next
All
week.
right. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.